The check can go up now, right?
Yeah.
What are the questions, right?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining in again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tori Designs. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. So today we are going to be answering questions. We're going to be answering. I won't be the only one here. I won't be the only one here. So I'll be having my colleagues who are experts joining us today. Popping up on the screen, on your screen soon. Hello, Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Chama.
Hi. Hi. So, we have so many persons with enough questions that they would like to get answers to. Making all your questions. So we're going to be talking about admission, visas, and all the questions we've been having. So sorry for the network. We have network issues. So okay. The questions we have are so many from so many individuals, and I know you'll be willing to have answers to these questions that have been bothering you, questions that you've been hearing different sides and contributions, but you're not really sure that whatever information you've gotten is authentic. So today myself and my colleagues will be here to answer these questions concerning visa, concerning admission processing, concerning the documents you'll be needing to show, concerning your age and what you're qualified for based on your degree. All this will be visited today. Yes, important documents that you cannot do without. So, questions like frequently like ask questions are like, what documents do I need to provide if I'm going for a master's degree? What documents do I need to show for me to get an unconditional offer? Or what document do you think if I provide will give me a conditional offer while I work on getting the others? So these questions and other questions will definitely be answered to. So I'm trying to, yeah. So these are the experts that are joining us today. And all your questions will definitely be answered. So that's my colleague Anthony, and Focus, can I see your face? So that's Focusing, our visa officer. She'll be here to answer all questions concerning your visa application processing. And my name again is Shoma, favorite girl. So we're here to answer every question. So I am a counselor. Mr. Anthony is our counseling team lead, and Mrs. Pokonsi is our visa officer. So please pardon our bad network today. So sorry. It's sunny, but the network is still bad. But it's fine. So we can go ahead with this question. So I have a question for you, Mr. Anthony. Someone asked, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Someone asked, I am below 18. Can I still study abroad?
Yes, of course. Can study abroad. Can either go for a BSc program if you have a post-secondary school education, like an OND, HND, or an A-level. You actually go and study abroad for direct BSc. And if you don't have any of those, you can actually study the foundation program before the BSc. So foundation program is like a year program which precedes your bachelor's degree. So just like a foundation or an A-level. So after that, you'll be progressing straight to international year one. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope we've answered the question. So another frequently asked question we have, what factors can we consider, right, when choosing a country for studies? So those person wants to know what factors to consider when choosing a country for studies.
Okay, okay, thank you. First of all, when factoring a country or choosing a country for studies, you need to look at the cost of living, the cost of tuition, the environment, if it suits you, and also looking at your post-study. So if the country is offering you a good post-study years, opportunities, and also look at the environment, the reputation of the school, and also the ranking of those schools compared to other countries. And also you look at the closeness to the home country. You know, most of us are coming from Nigeria. So you look at the closeness of, like, UK now is very close to Nigeria, so that's why most of the students prefer the UK. And some of them prefer Canada because of the job opportunities. You don't have the job opportunities in other countries, but there are vast job opportunities in Canada and also in the US. And also in the UK too, but depending on where you have, and also what you consider is soft landing, where you have people that you can actually stay with for the meantime before you find your feet. And I think that's just it. So those are basically the things people consider, aside tuition and deposit and all that.
Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful answer. I have another question, very, very common and frequent. I would say it's a pressing question that comes to my table every time, but this time it's concerning visa. So I get a lot of people, not one person, not two persons, a lot of people asking me this question. They ask this particular question that like, can I use my spouse's account for my visa application? So Focus, can you answer that? Is it possible for the applicant to use the spouse's account for their visa processing?
Okay, thank you, Choma. So aside your personal account, you can use your parent's account for the purpose of visa and your spouse's account only if you are applying and traveling together. So that is the clause there. It's possible for you to use your spouse's account, but you must ensure that you are applying together and traveling together.
Oh, okay. So if they are not traveling together, you cannot use your spouse's account. Okay, that's
yes, advice that if you are not traveling together with your spouse at that time, you just use your personal account.
Okay, another question is, does my visa covers the duration of my study? The entire duration of my study?
Okay, so I believe that that is for UK. So if you have applied for a UK student visa, you are going to be issued a 3 month visa that will allow you to travel to the UK. So your visa does not really cover the entire duration of your course of study. 3 month visa is what you're going to get from Nigeria. So when you get to the UK, you now get a residence permit. That residence permit is what is going to cover for the entire period, and that will enable you to be able to work, study, and do some other things.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please send in your questions. Feel free to send in your questions. All questions will definitely be attended to. All questions. Welcome, Real Ede. Thank you for joining us today. Please, hope you have questions for us. So we are ready to answer all of them one after the other. So, is it possible to work while studying, Mr. Anthony? Is it possible? Because majority of Nigerians really want to work while studying.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, it's definitely possible to work while studying. As a student, you are entitled to work for 20 hours in a week. So that allows you to work for a period of time. But the job you'll be getting is student jobs. So you might not actually get a good paying job or a full-time job as a student, because of course you have to dedicate time for your studies. So they will allow you to work for 20 hours in a week.
Okay, thank you for
So
that
it's possible to work while studying, yes.
Okay, I don't know if everyone is taking notes. You take note what he just said. He said the jobs you'll be getting are student jobs because they want you to still have time for your studies. So take note of that. The jobs you'll be getting mostly is student jobs, and you're allowed to work 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week. There's one wonderful question here. It says, do I need an educational agent to study abroad? Do I need an educational agent to study abroad?
Of course, you need an educational agency to actually study abroad, because they'll give you all the guidance, and in fact, they'll guide you from the beginning to the end, from the start of the application up to when you get your offer. They'll be there to advise you on the documentation, on what and what is required. They'll advise you on your course and also your career path, if it actually fits into what you want to do after studies, that's the career path. And also, they also advise you on the requirements and how to go about them, and also put in the applications for you, because they have personal relationship with these schools. So if you send a mail or application to the schools, they might actually not respond on time, but while using an educational agency, they respond to, let me use us, very, very fast,
Yes.
faster,
Yes,
and that gives you the edge over those that did the application by themselves. And also, in case you need to they reach out to the school directly. And also, when meeting your conditions on your offer, they also help in that to fast track and to get response on time, and also to get your CAS. And for the schools, that also help in mentoring you and preparing you for that particular interview, so that you don't have any issue or any challenges regarding your pre-CAS interview. And they also fast track your CAS so that your CAS can come out on time. And also, when your CAS is out, the educational agency also helps you with visa application. Okay? And in Negxy, the visa application for applicant is actually free of charge compared to other agencies. Okay, and those for dependents actually on a cheaper level compared to other agencies. We won't give you discount if you're more than 2 or 3. So there is discount attached to it. So there are so many benefits attached to using an educational agency. So I urge you all to come to Negxy. Send us a DM after this live, so I can help you through your journey. Thank you.
Yeah, so one thing I'd like to add, if you've done your application on your own before, you have an offer already, it's not too late to tell us to help you carried on till you get your card, till you get your visa. We are actually going to help you fast track getting your cards, even if minutes you want, and we'll still help you fast track your card and make sure you land to your destination in peace and with joy. So another question we'll be asking, some people will be like, I know we have some newbies on this live, so I do not want to assume that everybody has all the information. So some people get to ask questions like, what conditional offer? All they know is offer. Conditional offer. So, Mr. Anthony, what will you say about this? Can you break it down, like to layman's understanding, and what a conditional offer is?
Okay. Thank you. When you make applications and your offer comes out, it comes out in two ways: either an unconditional offer or a conditional offer. So for the conditional offer, they require for you to submit a document. That means your application was not complete. So one of probably the documentation is missing. The document is missing rather. And also probably they need an extra documentation for them to process your unconditional offer. And some will actually tell you to make a payment, a deposit payment, for them to give you an unconditional offer. So each school varies with their mode of application and mode of giving out offers. But basically, a conditional offer is the offer that requires you to submit an extra document, or the school wants you to submit a document. Probably your personal statement is not written well. They will tell you what is required from that personal statement from you. Probably you had a printout of your O-level. They will require you to submit the original copy. Some is reference, some tell you to provide two reference, and some will tell you to put the reference on the letterhead, and some will tell you to go and provide your official transcript. So it depends on the condition that they are asking for. So that is what makes it a conditional offer. Or unconditional offer is the offer whereby you don't need to meet anything, you don't need to submit any further documentation. So what you need to do is either you pay your deposit in full, or the one required to get your pass, then you proceed with the application.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. So, Fokansi, so we have questions like this, like how people want to know how much visa fee is and how much IHS fee is, and if the amount of the visa fee for an applicant is the same for the dependent. Can you answer these questions, please?
Okay, so the first thing to note is that this fee is very part-time, but I'll give you as at today. The visa fee for student visa and their dependents is $480. That's the visa fee. It's the same thing for the dependents, and it changes, but as today it's $480. The IHS for 1 year for the main applicant is $930. Now, it is usually the same thing for dependents as well. There are a few times that the dependent pay less than, but we cannot be sure of that. So if you are making a budget, just budget for the same thing for yourself and for your dependents. Then if it's lower, then that's good, but you can't count on that. So it's usually the same thing. And it's $980 today, that's the IHS for 1 year.
Okay. So another question is, do I need to attend a visa interview for visa?
Okay, so if you are putting in a visa application for your UK study visa, you do not necessarily, you may not be invited for an interview. There's actually no interview. If you go to attend your biometrics at the application center, they will not interview you. But there are a few times that the UK VI will reach out to students on an individual basis and request to have an interview with them. It happens, so you cannot rule out that possibility, but you'll be informed if you are requested to attend an interview. But it's not a general thing. They don't interview all students.
Okay. So for those that are scared of interviews, they don't interview all students, but it's just on a random. So another question I would like to ask is, people want to know if all schools conduct interviews before you can study abroad. Do schools conduct, all schools in the UK, do they all conduct interviews before you can study abroad? Mr. Anthony?
Okay, okay. Not all schools actually conduct interview, and for some schools, they actually interview for some courses. Like if you're going for nursing, for instance, either BSc or MSc, schools conduct what we call pre-offer or pre-admission interview. So that interview comes in before they even give you the offer. They want to assess your knowledge, what you know about your practical skills and all that. So that is before they give you an offer. But for other courses, they don't actually conduct interview. And also, when you get an offer, some schools actually conduct what we call a precast interview. Okay, a precast interview is an interview whereby they want to know your knowledge about the school, the environment, your course, your career plans, your finance, your accommodation, and all. So they want to know if you're actually prepared and if actually you know what you're going there to do. So, but there's not all schools that conduct this interview, but some schools actually conduct this interview. So it is for some, and it is a yes for some, and it's a no for some.
Okay, thank you very, very much. So, how do I budget how do I make a budget for a study abroad program? So how do I arrange my budget?
Okay, for budget, the way pounds is going up now, I don't understand. So, but if you're budgeting to go abroad, to study abroad,
yeah.
So first things you need to put in place is your school fees, especially your tuition deposit, because most schools actually require you to pay a tuition deposit before you can get your class. So you have to factor in your tuition deposits, your visa fees, okay, your health insurance fee, that's the IHS fee, and also you need to factor in the amount you'll be needing to study abroad. That's both your tuition deposits, your tuition balance, and your living expenses, okay, which for UK varies from inside London to outside London. So it is either you're staying inside London or you're staying outside London. I know London is quite expensive. You have to factor all that too in your expenses and in the estimation. Though it is not, you cannot say, okay, I will need a certain amount of money to travel abroad, which is step by step. So if you pay one, then when you get to the next step, you have to pay another one. When you get to the next step, you have to pay another one. Then you have to plan. So with proper planning, I think you can get a good estimation of your fee. But basically, what you need to think about is the one that is actually important, which is the tuition deposits, your visa fee, your IHS. You can talk about your accommodation and your living expenses.
Okay. If you're asking like how much can you say they need to budget, like a general account, I don't know if you can give an estimate. It's an estimate, it's not accurate, but just an estimate. Will you be able to do that?
No, right now I cannot give an estimate because
of FX.
Today
right?
now, pound the exchange rate. So today now, pounds can be 1,000. Next tomorrow it will be 900. Okay. So I don't want to give an estimate. So, but once you come to Negxy, we actually calculate it for you accordingly and tell you what you need to do at a particular point in time and how to calculate your estimate.
Okay. So I think Tori Design has a question. So she says, my study gap will be 1 year by August. Hope I won't need a work reference because I've never worked. It's been disturbing her mind. So, do you want to answer that question? Should I take it again?
Okay. Yeah, no, I heard you.
Okay.
So for study gaps, she said her own is 1 year, right? And she has never worked. I want to believe she did NYSC. She did NYSC now, or if she did NYSC. So NYSC place of primary assignment can serve as a work reference. So I can get a work reference from there. Yeah, so work experience 2 years. So you can get a work reference from there if the school requires it. Because most schools just tell you to provide one reference, either academic or professional work reference. So if the school requires you to provide both academic and professional, that means you have to get it from the place of primary assignments, from where you did your NYSC. Okay, so I don't think it should be a hard, to be something like that is difficult.
Okay. Tori Designs, hope it's not going to disturb your mind again. We've answered you, so you don't need to worry. The experience you got from your primary place of assignment will serve as your work experience on your CV, and for your work reference, you need to get a work reference from that same place you worked during your NYSC year. So it's just like you still having 1 year, which is something. Strictly something you should be bothered about. Don't let it disturb your mind again. Another question is, I am married, but I still have my maiden name on my international passport. Do I need a change of name document? This is for Foconsi. Please can you answer us, please?
Okay. So
Now is your face.
what I usually tell people is that change of name document. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I usually tell clients is that a change of name document is not a compulsory document for visa application. It is not compulsory because it's possible that you are married and you do not even want to change your name, or you have not changed your name. So if you still have your father's name on all of your documents, even though you are married, you don't need to bother about the change of name document. It's not, the marriage certificate is just going to be fine because you have actually not changed your name. You still answer your maiden name.
I hope I was able to answer that question. Or Foconsi was able to answer that wonderful question. What are the requirements to study abroad? What are the documents? What are the requirements? These are for newbies that are interested in studying this January 2024.
Okay, requirements to study abroad. You need some documents, study abroad. Okay, so the requirements are not actually difficult and they are not perfect. It's something that you can either get from your school, that's from your primary, from your university here in Nigeria, and from your workplace. And then there are some that you can even provide by yourself, which is the CV and personal statement. So, first document to be needing is your degree certificate, original copy of your degree certificate, not statement of results or notification of results. But you can use that to make an application, and probably you are still a fresh graduate if you have not collected your original copy. You can use that to make your application and get a conditional offer. But some schools will request you to get the original copy before they give you a conditional offer. And also your transcript. You can use the student's copy to also make an application, okay, and then get a conditional offer. Then you can now send it directly to the school, or you can send it to us to check the process. Then detailed CV or detailed CV. You need a well-documented CV for your application, where you have your personal details, your work experience, your educational background, and all that. So you need that too for your application. And also your personal statement. Personal statement is also known as statement of purpose. For some countries, it's known as letter of intent or letter of motivation. So it depends on what they call it, but you always have statement of purpose, personal statement. Where you talk about yourself, the school, your work experience, how it's related to the course you're going for. You have to convince the school that you can actually do this, okay? Talk about the school, talk about why you're studying that school, what course you facilitate the most. Talk about what that course, your future career plans, how the course is going to help you in your career path. And also, you talk about why you want to study in a particular country. So these are supposed to be contained in the personal statement. And also reference letters, either from your workplace or from your school. So you require from the HOD of the dean of the faculty, from the lecturer, and then get from your boss, from your direct boss, or your employee, or from the HR, that's of professional reference. Then you need a valid data page for international passport. It must be 6 months valid from your course start date. So if it is not, you need to, towards the expiration of that one, you have to make a renewal for it to get a new one. And also your O-level certificate, that's your WAEC or NECO or anything O-level. But you must show that you actually pass a certain subject like English, which is paramount. Some school require to pass English with C5 and with C4. Some require to get C6, depending on the course you're going for. While for those in the medical line, you will require to get probably C4, B6, B3, B2, or A, you know, as case may be. And for undergraduates, all you need is just unlike the MSc for the Masters and PhD, all you need is your WAEC results. You know, since you don't have the original one, you can provide a scratch card to accompany it. Then the data page of your national passport, which is supposed to be valid, and a personal statement, and then your recommendation letter from your school, or either from your headmistress or from your class teacher. Then your school testimonial or school transcript where you have your courses or your subjects documented, and your CV. Though you may not have a comprehensive CV or something that is too person, but you can just write out, since you don't have any prior work experience. But if you have work experience, it is good you state it in the CV, so as to actually boost your application, because they will know that, okay, yes, you have a specific or you have a particular work experience relating to the field you are going for, so it will give you edge over those that don't have that work experience.
Okay, thank you.
So those are the documents needed for the study abroad, so for to make your applications.
Okay, thank you very, very much. That was really detailed and explanatory. Okay, does my child need a TB certificate? Focus, please, can you help me with that?
Okay, yes. So if you're applying with your dependent child, that child is going to be under 18 years. I hope you know that. You need a TB certificate, even if the child is just 2 months or 3 months old. As long as you're going to stay in the UK for more than 6 months, you're required to do a TB test. So yes, your child needs a TB certificate.
Okay, so someone would like to know, please send in your questions. We just answer all of them. Please just send them in. You can send them in now so I can attend to all of them. So, focus, say, what's the meaning of BRP? What's a BRP?
Okay, a BRP is a biometric residence permit. So, like I said earlier, when you apply for your student visa, they'll give you 3-month visa. When you get to the UK, you get a biometric residence permit that will allow you to study for the entire period of your course. It will be issued to you, you collect it in the UK.
So until you get to the UK before you can be able to have a BRP, right? Okay. So is it compulsory to provide an employment document for visa? Is it compulsory? Can you hear me? Please keep sending me your questions. Sending your questions. We're here to attend to all of them. Send your question. So yeah, like I was saying, so is it compulsory to present your employment document for visa?
Well, I wouldn't say it's compulsory, but the reason why they will ask you for your employment documents is if you have study gap. So the moment you have study gap, it becomes compulsory for you to show what you have been doing for this period of time that you have been away from school. Either you are doing a business that is registered, or you have been in employment. So either case, you can submit documents to show these things. You understand? So it's not like it's compulsory, but most people have study gap, 3 years, 4 years upwards. If you have a year, maybe you can just put your NYSC certificate. That will be fine. But the moment you have 3, 4 years study gap, then it becomes compulsory for you to put in your employment details. And when I say employment details, it could be a business document that you are putting as well. So if you don't put it at the point of making your visa application, they are going to request for it, and that could delay your application. So it's good to put it into your application from start.
Okay, so if someone is asking study gap, what is even a study gap? So how are you going to explain this to the person? Because
okay, so if you are, for instance, going for so you are, for instance, going for a master's program, and then your last program was when? That's the question you should ask yourself. You are probably going for an MSc and you already have a BSc. You had BSc 2010, and then we're in 2023. They want to know what you have been doing that made you not go for your master's up until now. So you have like a 13-year study gap. So it's just like the difference between your last program and the current one that you want to go for.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. So,
Yeah,
Mr. Anthony, I recently got someone that wanted to go for a BSc program, but she was 34 years old. So, in such cases, how will you handle it? What response will you give this person? A 34-year-old that has only a
okay.
result, SSC, but really wants to go through the study abroad
Okay.
route.
Okay, now actually it will be a bit difficult, but nothing. It is something that we can actually do. So for 34-year-old, you know, the wife will be very, very good. So probably she wrote the wife when she was either 18, 19, 20, 21. So throughout that period of her WAEC, when she took her O level, up to when she wants to apply for the BSc program, what has she been doing? So the CB needs to be up to date with good work experience, and this work experience will be related to the field in which she's going to. So if you want to go into business, of course, you have to have this work experience of in a business setting. And also, if the student has an OND or HND, I want to go for PhD at that age, it is actually possible because this document will support her application, and also her work experience, what should also support her application. You need to get a recent reference from her place of work, telling them that
For BSc,
just
right?
detailing how they do. Yes, for BSc, yes, of course. So the person will get a work experience, work reference from the place of work, telling how long she has been in a particular job, and if she's actually still working there at the moment. So all this is will actually support the application for her to get an offer. So not all schools actually accept that age gap, but some schools will do. We have like 3 direct schools that will actually give her an offer with that age gap, provided she meets the right, she gets the right documents.
That's good. That's good news. That's good news. So I have a question. It says, I paid additional tuition after obtaining my CAS. Do I need to get a new CAS for the visa application? Now, this person paid an additional tuition fee, and this person has gotten the CAS. Now, this person wants to know, do they need to ask for a new CAS again for the visa application, or they can go on with the old CAS? Yeah, focus it. Please, can you help us out?
Okay.
Okay, so because of the new Rwanda rate, people have had to pay additional tuition fee in recent times. So what you do, you will not really get a new CAS per se because the new updated one that will have the new tuition that you have paid. Either this transaction now was a receipt from the school saying that they have received the money on the school letterhead. But it's better for you to get a card updated so that they notice that you have paid an additional fee, and then you cannot use that to apply for your visa. Most schools usually respond within a day or two to update your passes.
So it's an updated CAS, right?
Yeah, because it still carries your CAS number. The information are still going to be the same, just an additional information on it.
Going on now, and some persons really do not even know about what is going on about the UK government. The information that the UK government passed for Nigerians, many persons are not aware that you can only go with a dependent now. Now, someone is asking, what if I pass my application, I miss my application deadline? What is that?
Sorry, can you come again with the question?
We can barely hear you. Yeah, please do. Yes, please. Take it again. We didn't get that. I think you said something about application deadline.
Hello.
Are you
Sorry.
saying that the application deadline for September has passed and they want to move it to January? Is that what you're asking?
What is that deadline? Can you hear me?
We can barely hear you.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, I get your question now.
Thank you.
You're asking what happens when you miss an application deadline. Okay, so what you need to do is you talk to your agent, that's your educational agent, to help you defer your offer to the next intake. Have in mind that so you need to choose a release that is actually okay. So, but if for January, the best thing to do is to defer it to the next intake. Then you start planning now. So pay your school fees early and to get your documentations early and to get whatever you want to get early so you can meet that deadline. Thank you.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said. So the network was so bad. Can you repeat it again? I'm so sorry. So, because I want to get
what I was saying is that all you need to do is you need to defer your offer. Just defer your offer to the next intake. But mind you, some courses are not open for January. So it is not all courses that is open for January. So the next intake of that course might be September. So if you cannot wait, you can actually go for a related course and start making your preparation.
Okay. So you're saying if you miss the application deadline, next thing for you is to apply for the next intake because there's nothing that can be done, Abby?
Yes,
exactly.
Okay. So unless the school decides to extend application deadline or deposit deadline or class deadline.
Okay.
So if you miss application deadline, for you to wait for another intake. So if you miss deposit deadline, it's for you to defer your offer to the next intake and pay your deposit on time. And then if you miss the class deadline, what you need to do is you also defer your offer to the next intake.
Okay. So it's not too late for you to start your January application. So
No, it's not. It's not late. It's not too early rather.
Meant for your January application. So if we have courses that are available in January, even if we know that September has most courses, if not all courses, but who you are interested in, so we can't just give you a fixed figure. But if you come to our office, definitely we can work things out and get an answer for you, right? So we can do these calculations together to see how we do the calculations. There we can be able to say, oh, this is the amount you need to provide to show your bank statement. This is the amount you need to show the school for your application process. Yes, very, very important to do so. So still come around, come to our office. So like I said, we have three branches in Nigeria. We have in Lagos, we have in Abuja, and we have in Port Harcourt. So wherever you are in Nigeria, yes, you can walk in. That's if you want to go to our physical office. Then if you just want us online, we're still here at Negxy Concept Limited. And follow our social media handles. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter. So we're everywhere you can actually think about. So if you still have questions or you're not opportunity to answer, we're not opportunity to answer your questions, still send a DM. Our numbers is on our website. You can send us a chat on WhatsApp, and definitely we'll respond to these inquiries to suit your understanding. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to my colleagues, Mr. Anthony, and I'll say thank you to my beautiful colleague, Fokansi. Thank you for all the answers you rendered to us. Thank you for joining and making it fun. We hope to do this some other time soon. Thank you for joining and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.